Hey guys, what's up? Yeah, I know it's been a while since my last video, and I do promise you guys soon I will do like a review on Ninja Turtles 3, and boy am I dreading it when I get the chance. I don't know, I might do a script, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to do these reviews, you know? You gotta have the time, you gotta have the patience, and I do mean patience, but we're just going to do something a little different. You guys remember when, this year when I did my, review on the old Thomas books I've had? Yep. Well, there were two books I had planned to do, but I left out, as I thought it'd be better if I talked about both of these on my own in a separate video. So, yeah. And these little books, you see them right here. These were released, of course, in 2011 and 2012 when we got the films, the last two Sharon Miller-era films, thank God, which was Day of the Diesels and Blue Mountain Mystery. Yeah. Now, and let's be honest, like, growing up now, we all know that Day of the Diesels really is not a good movie, because, after all, it's a Sharon Miller film. But Blue Mountain Mystery, it's still good, though when we would get other successful films out there, and yeah, I do mean King of the Railway as well, despite what some people think. Like, things have just gotten, well, better and better, and, well, you just forget. But I still can't forget, like, I still have those moments from when I first saw this way back in 2012, but we're not going to get ahead of this, so yeah, I thought it'd be better if I talked about them in a separate video. And what else could I say? And most of all, I really just think in general that, because these are just, well, basically, your typical kids' books that came out, well, during, well, the current series. And 2011 and 2012 were also at a time when I really began to love Thomas, well, despite, well, some of the dark stuff and such. But it's where I felt like more I was a proper fan, really. But, yeah, with that out of the way, we're just gonna look through these books and show you what they're all about. Alright, so here is the Day of the Diesels. Oh, but before we do get onto them, you're gonna ask, where did I get these? Well, there were these charity walks that I did. Yeah, these charity walks for autism. Yeah, as you guys know, I have that. They had these charity walks for autism, like, every October, and every year I always go to them, and like, they also used to have a Toys R Us, well, booth, and thank God I heard that Toys R Us is actually rising from the ashes. Yeah, I am so happy that those guys are coming back. Thank God, and hopefully they might have a booth again. But yeah, at the Toys R Us booth, they had Legos, crayons, and they even had some Thomas stuff. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. I remember getting some Thomas stuff at this booth, and I actually got this book, well, of course, for the 2011 one, obviously, and this one, 2012. Okay, you get the idea. It's the same year that the actual, like, special came out. Alright? So, yes. I'm so glad to get them, but we're not gonna, delay this further. I'll show you what these books are. Okay. This one here, of course, seeing that this was at the time of Day of the Diesels, is called The Ultimate Diesel Guide, and yeah, as you can tell, it's pretty much about the show's diesel engines. Yeah, the diesel characters. It's strange why Mavis and Salty aren't in this logo, which is, they're cool, but I kind of feel that, like the likes of, say, Diesel or any of the other new diesels at the time, like, well, Paxton, before he got developed, should have appeared, but, nah, oh well. Alright, so, yes, here's Day of the Diesels, and here are the new characters we saw at the time. Hell, I even had some, like, memory card games. No, well, more a memory card game of Day of the Diesels, but it's just so hard to go through it all. But yeah, this was, of course, the movie that we really can't stand. Okay, but here's a little intro. It says, on the island of Sodor, there are two kinds of, well, I'm just going to call them steam engines. Yeah, just to be honest with you, steamy, it sounds so stupid. Like, literally, it's just, I'd rather just use it, when the diesels are insulting them, but yeah, just calling them that in general, it's, like I said, stupid. So yeah, it just spotlights every, like, diesel in the series and showing, and of course, it even makes a little reference to the Duck and the Diesel trilogy when, Diesel being the first engine and how he was the one who was playing these antics, when Duck first came. Well, sorry, no, when spreading those rumors about Duck. But, well, we already know that. But, yes, here's the rest. And now, it goes in a specific order. Now, the first one, of course, as we all get through, is Devious Diesel. And, of course, interestingly enough, I should also point this out, they not only use pictures from the model series, but, hell, they even use pictures from the Railway series books. Yeah, isn't that a plus? So, yeah, it's just, given the chance, he wants to be a really useful engine too. Yeah, we won't go through them all, but it's not only do they show the current diesels, but even some of the old diesels at the time, even before they got reintroduced. Like Rusty, yeah. Just a year before he came back in Blue Mountain Mystery, here's Rusty. And they even point out in the Railway series, he was originally painted black. Impressive. Yeah, and speaking of old, we even have Daisy. Yeah, and each, little window in this is, of course, just a bunch of gears because, this is the Diesel Works after all. And it's lucky, too, despite the poor writing at the time, they actually gave each diesel the right description. Well, almost. We'll get to that soon. But, yes, here we have, of course, Daisy's description and how, she hates pulling trucks. But learn how all work is important. And it's funny, because, 4 years after, Daisy would finally come, 4 years later, we would finally be reintroduced to Daisy. Yeah, it was just impressive, how Daisy would come back in CGI, So, having her in this book, it's pretty rare. Okay, we got Mavis. Oh, and look, we even got Boko. Yeah, that's right. My favorite Diesel and tie with, Diesel. And they even got the right, description for him and, of course, his Railway series. Oh, and they even have, the fun fact of his names being derived from the Kobo wheel arrangement. And look who else we got. Yeah, Sydney, Norman, and Paxton, the 3 Diesels who would, get developed soon. First it would be Paxton in Blue Mountain Mystery, and then, in 2013 when we did have that... What's the name of that episode? Oh yeah, the missing Christmas decorations. That's when we would have more development for Norman and Sydney. Well, at least more for Sydney. Yeah, Norman hasn't really gotten any episodes. All it says is that he often breaks down, but if he were fixed properly... Doesn't that sound like Derek? Yeah, it's funny I'll mention that. Well, we'll get to that soon. We even got the other descriptions at the time, like Sydney being forgetful, like Dory from Finding Nemo, and of course Paxton being respectable, but seriously, especially Thomas. Wow, they really have to keep showboating Thomas every time. And man, and we thought Mattel was bad, but then again, they are doing it. Oh, and here's what I mentioned. Yeah, here's Derek. Yeah, the really underrated one, and I really like this character, and I really hope someday he actually does come back. And, we even have, of course, the actual description of how he spends most of his time working with Bill and Ben, and of course, this other fun fact, but they don't really mention his full description on how he's a happy and friendly Diesel, but it's odd, because would most kids who read this... I'm pretty sure they wouldn't really know who Derek was. But then again, I heard that in 2011, we still had his wooden railway model at the time. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that, well, obviously, we know who Derek is, but the kids, who will read this will actually start questioning this, and I'm pretty sure, they'd have to see the original episode somehow. Okay, we got Ari and Bert, okay, and then we got... we still got more. We got Salty, the Dockyard Diesel, and... him. Trust me, I really do not like Dennis. Seriously, he's a lazy idiot. A stinking spoiled brat who, thank God, was only in just one episode. Seriously. The guy's just a freaking lazy and selfish lowlife. Ah, man. Well, thank God we haven't seen... Well, thank God we've seen the last of him. Hopefully, because I would like to see more development for Norman, who obviously is the same class as Dennis. Well, of course, we have Diesel 10, yeah. Yeah, and we got the right description, though no mention of the disaster, Thomas and the tragic fail road. And we even have Den and Dart, the 2 new Diesels at the time. Yeah, in fact, they even say it here, too. In fact, here's the description. Den is a Diesel, and here's what I meant almost right. They say... while he is not devious, he's still a decent... Oh my god, really? That sounds racist. I know that this was at the time when the show's writing was terrible, and granted, I don't really know about the current state of the show now, even though my fans tell me that, like, well, the Soder episodes are good, but I don't know. It's just... I believe you guys, but I really don't know for sure if I can really trust Mattel after everything that's happened. Like, seriously. But, enough of that, though. So, yeah, they mention... So, yeah, we got Den and Dart as the last two, and here we got more advertisements for mobile app Thomas crap and such. Oh, that rhymes. And, of course, an advertisement for the Day Out with Thomas and Friends event back in 2011. Alright, so, yeah, here we got Day of the Diesels. And now we'll get to this one, I feel. And this is, of course, the Blue Mountain Mystery book, Hide and Peep Mystery. Yeah, it's not exactly a guide, like, about the Diesels or something, or any characters for that matter. I mean, you think, because, well, this is the movie where we would be reintroduced to all of the narrow gauge engines, minus Duncan and Duke. Yeah, and I do mean, Duke. Oh, okay, we know why Duncan never appeared, because the engine he was based off, Douglas, of course, was, like, being repaired, or, like, overhauled, I don't know. Okay, so here is, of course, the advertisement for the movie, September 2012, and, of course, we would be introduced to Owen, Luke, Merrick, and Winston. Opinions have changed. I've given this an 8.5 out of 10, but yeah, I don't know. The animation for Nitrogen was good at the time, but compared to something like, say, Ark, I don't know. I guess it kind of feels just a little bit dated, if you know what I mean. Because, after all, okay, maybe I'm just exaggerating. I don't think it's really at all dated, though, but maybe just not as good as what we would get in later years. Though then again, I'm not really sure about the animation now. Of course, we got the mystery engine here. That's Luke, as I just mentioned. Okay, here's a little, like, just like with the previous book, we even got, like, a introduction on who the narrow gauge engines are, and, like, some, like, yeah, even the freaking logging locos. Who even gives a shit about those guys? Ugh. Yeah, they even mentioned... So, yeah, here we have the Fat Controller and the standard gauge engines, Thomas, Percy, Gordon, and James, though. Here we have most of the narrow gauge engines at the time, Skarloey, Rheneas, Sir Handel, Peter, Sam, and Rusty, in the right number order. Though I have to ask, if they got the Fat Controller here, where's the Thin Controller, Mr. Percival? Of course, we have the others, you know, mentionings of the narrow gauge engines and how they're completely different. Yeah, that all stuff I'll just show you. Alright, so... yeah, and it's only in this, like, this quick little one, we actually have a short little description on each of, well, the staff and the engines and even, well, buildings, because if you count Owen and Merrick, that are, you know, on the Skarloey Railway. So we have Mr. Percival, Skarloey, his own branch line, the Skarloey. No, it's not a branch line. That's the whole Skarloey Railway. He's just the namesake engine, the first one. But at least they got the right descriptions, as, after all, this was back when, like, writing was almost there, even though Season 16 was crap, looking back on it all now. And yeah, I pretty much privatized that old review of, you know, I did back on Season 16. Trust me, it's shit now. Especially given back when I used to record on my old iPod Touch. So yeah, we have Skarloey, we have Peter Sam, and of course his right character development, personality. We got Rusty, the only Diesel. I know there was Fred in the Railway series, but I'm not really a big fan of him, so yeah, he's just a little bit forgettable to me, especially since we never saw him. We got Sir Handel, and oh, look at this. They even mention his old personality, even though we don't really see it that much, while he sometimes gets into trouble thinking he knows best, and he always gets the job done. Yeah, and surprisingly, while they only say, for Sir Handel that his original name was Falcon, but yet for Peter Sam's description, they don't really mention how his name used to be Stuart. Weird. We even got Rheneas, my favorite narrow gauge engine. Of course, the right personality. We got Owen, we got Merrick. Depending on what you think of these two, I guess, they're alright, I suppose. Okay, so yeah, as the title says, hide and peep mystery. Like, it's basically just, like, what it is just, you flip each pages, there's different clues to where each different, like, Skarloey engine is. Yeah, like, it just, has these, like, special, like, well, clues, just so you can find, like, a different narrow gauge engine. Like, here on this one, you find Peter Sam, and in the next one, you find Sir Handel. Yeah, it just keeps saying, it's hard to go through all of them, but they actually use pictures of actual scenes from the movie, where you actually have a promo clip of the picture showing that Thomas found each character. So yeah, that's Sir Handel. Let me just flip the page. No, that's the other. Here it is. Of course, here, you helped Thomas find a mystery engine who obviously, and yeah, they're really doing a poor job of covering this, who obviously we know is Luke, but we don't really, but they just keep trying to fool us. Yeah, and they don't really make it so, like, mysterious. Yeah, it's so obvious that we know who Luke is. Like, no kidding. Like, here's the back. It's spoiling. Yeah, spoiling what I'm about to show you later. Yeah, they just show Luke's name. So, the kids reading who are obviously going to know. Mattel? No, this was Hit Entertainment. Yeah, Mattel wasn't in, like, Mattel didn't really come yet until 2013. Yeah, so, we have more of Thomas trying to find the other Skarloey engines, and here we have Thomas finding Rheneas. Here's Rusty, and I really do not like his render. Seriously, and here's a picture of Thomas, smelling something, and really it's the fat controller who was actually eating a grilled cheese sandwich in the other new character at the time, Winston. And yeah, of course, seeing that this is, of course, the 2010s era, like, this is, of course, the other stuff we would get, especially for 2012. All this, mobile app crap, yeah. Yeah, it's cool and all, but sometimes I really cannot stand iPhones. Yeah, they're just so... Yeah, we even have other, like, coloring books and other merchandise off of Blue Mountain Mystery at the time, and just like with the previous book, here is, of course, the advertisement for the 2012 Day Out with Thomas and Friends event. And as I just showed you earlier, here's, of course, the advertisement for Blue Mountain Mystery, which at the time was on PBS, and I wish it still was. Alright, so that's the, the original books. They're nothing special. I would like to show you, because I had even a King of the Railway that I got from an autism walk for 2013, and it's in my stuff box, though I don't really know for sure if I could find it. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll just pause this video real quick and see if I can. Okay, here it is. Yeah, it's a King of the Railway color sheet I got. In fact, it was the last Thomas product I found. Yeah, they didn't really have anything for Tale of the Brave, but not like I'd even care anyway, as you guys know I really didn't like that movie, yeah. And even to this day, I still think Tale of the Brave wasn't that great. But we're not here to talk about that. No, we're here to talk about this King of the Railway color sheet that I never really got to finish. Okay, well, sort of. I got to... I got to, do a, connect the dots, sheet right here, which, of course, was Thomas's new friend, which, obviously, we know is Steven. Why aren't they saying that? But, yeah, it's, connect the dots of Steven, and here we have to color in Thomas. And I only covered the book here because I signed this thing, and I don't want to get in trouble if I show my full name and such, but, yeah, okay, But they do have this. I don't know what it says, but I'll tell you what, I'll do my best to read it. Hello, friend. I'm so glad you're here. There's a lot happening. There's a lot happening on the island of Sodor right now. The Earl of Sodor, that's Sir Robert Norbury, as we already know, has just arrived, and he's rebuilding the mighty Ulfstead Castle. It's very exciting here. The Earl brought a new engine along with him. His name is Stephen. He's a magnificent engine, older than I am, obviously, because trains are older than people, and a bit dinged up. Yeah. But it's nothing a few days at the good Stephen. At the good old Steamworks won't fix. Sorry, I'm a little tired right now. Alright. It's just a little hard to read from here, too. The problem is Steven is so eager to get to work and start being really useful that he set off on his own, and now he's missing somewhere on Sodor. He has a very important job to do at the new Ulster Castle, and I need your help. Is this by... Oh, no. For a minute, though, I really thought this was Sir Robert Norrenby, and if it was, I was going to read it in my Sir Robert Norrenby voice. But instead, I guess I could read it in Thomas's voice. All right. Inside of this booklet, you'll find you'll find your very own map of Sodor. Work with an adult to read the clues on the map and complete each activity. If you have all of the tasks inside, you're sure to find... where does it end? Oh, Stephen, yeah. You're sure to find Stephen. If you need any help along the way, just look for a friendly store associate. Yeah, they're really just looking for the advertisement here. But really, kids are a lot smarter than that. But getting back to the reading, and they'll lend you a helping hand. Are you ready to start your journey? I hope so. Best of luck, and most importantly, have fun. Your friend, Thomas. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't really do this, but if you've seen the movie, you'll already know where, Stephen obviously is. But yeah, here's a map of the island of Sodor, and here we have, of course, Tidmouth Sheds, obviously, and amazingly, we even have the Blue Mountain Quarry. And here we even have, let's just get down to it, Ulfstead Castle. Ulfstead Castle, the place where Stephen obviously went in the movie, when he got lost in the mine, when, of course, as we all know, and spoilers even for a movie, which, yeah, amazingly came out 5 years ago in Ulfstead Castle. So, yeah. Here's this again. Oh, excuse me. Okay, guys, I'm back. So, yes. Overall, these books, of course, were your typical movie-exclusive merchandise at the time. But they were pretty interesting. Like, the Day of the Diesels book, it's good, but looking back, the movie itself is pretty dated, and Blue Mountain Mystery is still fun, but I don't think I'd be watching it, again. Well, even though the song, at the end was pretty cool. And King of the Railway, I still think it holds up, but like I said, I've had enough of the current series for a while that, well... it doesn't... But, I still love, what we would have from the Andrew Brenner era onwards, well, mostly with season 17 and 18, but, yeah, everything nowadays has just become meh, and you really just feel like now, like I mentioned in my other previous videos, that the show's, quality, its shelf life, expired a long time ago, and... who cares? I really think right now, the show should really, it should have just quit while it was ahead, because, yeah. But then again, other great shows ended, but they're still successful, like Animaniacs and such, and I hear that's going to be getting a reboot soon. Alright, but yes, this is Mike P57S signing off, and I'll see you guys again for my next video. See you later, everybody. Bye.